Okay everybody, welcome to part one of how to hardtail your Sportster. We're going to be showing you where to cut your frame in this video to install our hardtail kit. This is the 2000 Sportster 1200 Custom from our introduction video. We've got it stripped down, took off the tank, seat, oil tank, swing arm. No cutting has been done thus far. I've marked with the white marker here to show you where we make our initial cuts. I always cut them off a little bit long to begin with. There's always room to trim later. That way you're not fighting and everything's kind of out of the way to do your finished trimming. So we're going to start out now showing you the tools that you need. I've just got a standard grinder with a cutoff wheel, a sawzall. You can use a portaband, a hacksaw, a torch, whatever you really want to use will work to make the initial cuts. I've got a piece of tin here that we lay over the rear rocker box so we don't scratch or gouge into the rear rocker box while we're trimming. Vice grips, rubber mallet, pair of safety glasses of course, some tape. I use the tape to tape off the chrome parts of the motor. That way we don't get any grinding sparks on anything that we care about. This air cleaner cover was already scratched. It's going in the trash, so I didn't bother masking it off. Use some duct tape, a little bit tougher over the rear rocker box. So we'll go ahead and put our piece of tin right in there. That way if we do any cutting up top, we don't got to worry about scratching the motor. The tape protects it from the piece of tin. Also, another place you got to cut, we will be removing the stock exhaust bracket. We'll show you a really easy way to do that. It's hard to get in here to grind this back weld off, so we'll show you a trick how to do that. And some other little tabs. So let's get the bulk of it off of there and we'll move forward. Alright, so we're going to start cutting the bulk of the frame off. I'm just going to use a sawzall with a hacksaw blade in it. Basically 4 cuts, you got the bulk of it off of there, so you can see where my white lines are at. I'm just taking the bulk off. I'll trim it all up when we're done. Again, I've got the piece of tin to protect the chrome or whatever you have. This cut, I like to place it on this side of this weld. It just makes it easier when you go to remove this cap later. Same thing over here. And one more cut down here and the whole tail will come off. Okay, so the bulk of it's out of your way. I like to use the Sawzall just so sparks aren't flying all over. We still got to trim off the little tabs that are left. We'll do that here quick yet in this video. This is the piece that we just cut off. Throw that in the iron pile. These two tabs here are no longer needed. Just hack those off there quick. This little guy will just fall out through the bottom of the frame if you poke it in there, or you can remove it first. On this side, for the original exhaust hanger, that's going to be in the way of the hardtail. Like I mentioned before, it's hard to get to that inside weld to cut it off. So we'll just take the cutoff wheel and slice it along this side below the weld. You can always come back and clean this up later. Just want to get all the way through this first side. The easiest way to get the back side cut wiggle her back and forth. Wheel her back and forth a few times, it'll snap off right next to the weld nice and clean. And that's pretty much it there. You come back and grind this all off later. Do it before you try to put the hardtail on. The next step is just removing this top cap. Pretty much take a cutoff wheel. We just cut right along the top side of the weld here. Remove that cap. A lot of guys just leave that on. I like to remove them. I think it looks a lot smoother with it off there for a nice finished look. But basically you have your weld right here, and we just cut through to remove this cap. Just cut it off all the way around on both sides and then grind that weld smooth. Just like that. So we'll get that off of there for you and show you how to fit it up for the final fitting to put the hardtail on.